It's always a pleasure knowing that you're watching Equinox Television. Good evening, televiewers. Thanks for joining us. This is The Insight on Equinox Television. The Insight is interviews. The Insight constitutes the regional network in which we shall be going to some regions to see just what happened during the week, some news-making events. The Insight, equally, we have press review for you. We have the news in retrospect. That's the week, looking at some events that took place during the week. And tonight, on our special story, we shall be taking you over to the Southwest Regional Capital, Boya Subdivision to be precise. My guest tonight is a Deputy Mayor of the Boya Council. He will be telling us more about situations out there in Boya Subdivision. Welcome to join us in this edition of The Insight. I'll be right back. Welcome to join us in this edition of The Insight on Equinox Television. The Insight is interviews. The Insight constitute the press review. The week in retrospect. Things have been Boya Subdivision.
Yeah, Boya is fair. Everything in place to make sure that all is well. I think the municipality is stable.
All right, Mr. Mosoko Edward, permit me to launch our very first slot in this edition of the program. We have some interviews of the week selected by the entire team. The interviews of the week coming up next.
Here you notice that people slept here for the past 2-3 days. And as we are standing now, if the rain drops down again a bit, that will be all for this road. Nobody will pass. I had been nursing the idea of getting the population to come for us to open the toll gates for the past 1 week, because people cannot be paying tolls for roads like this.
Food products, cash crops are all blocked in people's homes. Plantains and cocoyams are getting rotten on the highway because they cannot be evacuated. If you go to the mortuary, the corpses are blocked there. They cannot be removed. You know, people are sick. They cannot go to Nyasoso, especially that there's lack of current. The pipes in Tombel are dry. There's no water.
When you call somebody, it's not going through. They will tell you probably the communication is not good and the rest. So you can be, there are areas where the 3G is stable and there are areas where it's not stable.
At times the person we are calling, we are not getting in well. And I tell the calls suddenly off.
Dial a call and they will tell me that the call is not going through while the phone is on.
At times we calls and the calls usually do not meet with the person we are trying to call.
We don't need to only think about our individual municipalities. We can grow projects that can go across municipalities, that 3-4 councils can join together for a common project, and it will be good for us.
Toxic products, chemical products which are used in agricultural, which are in those plastic. And when the consumers use those plastic, they can have health problems.
The interviews of the week, you have the opportunity to discover some of those interviews in the various slots that will be coming up next on The Insight on Equinox Television. Televiewers, we take you straight away to the week in retrospect. We revisit some of the major events that made news during the week. It is a contribution of the entire English text on Equinox Television.
These children, soaked in tears and sorrow, are now motherless. Their mothers reportedly been beaten to death by a husband. Their neighbors at the New Dedo neighborhood in Douala affirm that the 40-year-old man by name Charles was regularly fighting with his wife, and this Wednesday was the final of the fighting tournament in this family, so to speak.
C'est un couple qui avait l'habitude de bagarrer. Ils ne sont pas leur première lutte.
This is the voice of one of the neighbors who spoke to us behind the camera.
Ce monsieur avait une maîtresse dehors.
She is explaining that 40-year-old Charles had an extramarital relationship with a concubine, and this is the cause of the tragic end of the life of these children's mother. While Charles is in detention at the 9th Police District in Douala, his 3 children have now become more or less like a flock of sheep without a shepherd.
26-year-old Mohamed Mustafa Anjobe Monero, 25 years, from Noon in the west region of Cameroon, resident in Douala at the weekend, came for a patrol in Modeka, Tiko subdivision. Their mission is to steal. Mohamed Anjobe first victim that Saturday night was this commander of the Tiko Gendarmerie station, who was also on patrol but in a civilian outfit. Commandant GTIP explained that these 2 boys asked him what he was still doing out that night, and he responded submissively that he just stepped out to buy a cigarette. These 2 boys then commanded the commander to give all the money he is having on him. That Commandant GTIP did and gave them 10,000 francs CFA, then left the spot immediately and called for backup. That is how Mohamed Anjobe finally ended their patrol in the cell of this commander in Tiko subdivision. After the arrest, these weapons were found on them: a machete, a gun already loaded, and this one, it looked like a gun, but it is not. It is a piece of wood formed in a gun-like shape, since most operations of this bandit are being carried out at night.
It was under heavy downpour that the crackdown was launched in the Loom, Njombe and Penja market, where traders were forced by the forces of law and order to get rid of this blue plastic, which they use in parceling commodities for their customers. A crackdown which, according to reports, is being initiated by the banana production company based in this locality, from where the plastic is gotten. This plastic, which serves as a means of parceling food stuff in this market, is said to contain some toxic chemicals dangerous for human health.
You have toxic products, chemical products which are used in agricultural, which are in those plastic, and when the consumers use those plastic, they can have health problem regarding that chemicals they can eat without knowing that they are eating the chemicals.
Surprisingly, traders in these markets are very aware of this health danger involved in using this plastic, but still decide to remain adamant. Authorities in the Mongo division say the crackdown will continue until all the markets are gotten rid of the blue plastic, which will save the inhabitants from health hazard, but also protect the environment from the haphazard disposal of this toxic non-biodegradable plastic, dangerous to the environment as well.
August 13th, 2015. A conjoined twins is born in BC Island, a locality situated in the village of Bambalang, Northwest region. Those who rushed to the care center clinic had a major preoccupation. What could have caused 2 babies with separate legs, hands, heads, and even sex organs to be joined at the level of the abdomen?
Dans ces cas, on a des risques de retrouver certains organes qui sont pas séparés normalement.
A gynecologist in Douala who attempted an answer told us that the conjoined twins is the result of malformation of the babies in the womb after conception.
C'est une malformation, essentiellement.
Denise Samuel Kafunda further expatiated that the fault could have been rectified if it was discovered on time.
Children from poor families are less likely to go back to school this academic year due to hardship. A parent or guardian needs at least 50,000 francs CFA for enrollment, books and the uniform of a student in a government secondary school in Cameroon, and 25,000 francs CFA for enrollment, books and the uniform of a pupil in a public elementary school in Cameroon. 2 weeks to back to school, Some poor parents in Yaoundé are complaining that they don't have money to send their children back to school. Poverty takes a harsh toll, threatening to deny children the right to education.
La rentrée scolaire, ça se passe mal et je n'ai même pas encore inscrit mon fils qui est au lycée bilingue.
These parents say they have not bought any items for their children, that they have not yet enrolled their children to school. They are low-income earners in the informal sector of the economy in Cameroon.
Welcome back to join us after the week in retrospect. I am still here with my guest, Mosoko Edward, Deputy Mayor from the Boya Council. I saw you watch with keen interest the week in retrospect. What can you tell us of some of the stories that you watch?
That which caught my attention is a story of projects in councils, and it is best for councils to collaborate and showcase their different potentials so that there can be a kind of exchange, you know, and they can easily attract sponsorship, be it from the national or international level. And I think FECOM will be much interested if council can work in synergy and build up a project, intercommunal kind of project. I think that one is a case in point that caught my attention.
What explains the fact that there are still bad roads in the country? When you watch that of Babaju in the West Region, just a boundary with Santa Subdivision, Northwest Region, you've watched the road in Anyasoso, an MP there in that locality denouncing and calling on government authorities to do something about that. What explains the fact that there are still bad roads in Cameroon?
Yeah, it's a kind of I should say general phenomenon, especially during the rainy season. The roads are not really the best, and it's a kind of concerted effort again, because if all the time we wait that government is only government to come and do some of these infrastructural projects, we may not really achieve. I think it's a kind of commitment from every other person to put heads together. That aside, the government has its own primordial role to redress some of this situation.
As an elite from the Southwest region, many say Suela has been very dormant. What explains this fact? Elites are not really coming out to denounce this situation.
It's not a kind of warlike situation that people will come and denounce. And I don't think Suela is dormant per se. I think Suela is very much alive. As you can see, it was revived of recent, and I think they have a credible executive. The elites of Southwest, I think they are each working in their various sphere of competence to carry out what is expected from them. I don't want to generalize the situation that the elites are not doing what is expected from them or Suela is dormant. I think it's a kind of coordinated effort, and if it is well coordinated, we can always harness our effort and ask what is actually expected from us from the right quarters.
All right, the newspapers during the week equally took keen interest in some of the news-making events in the week, and that is why Babila Jonathan flipped through some newspapers. He has the press review in this edition of the program.
The Bamenda Road palaver, the strife between John Fundi and Professor Songani over Cameroon's history, political victimization and administrative arrogance, jail Iya Mohammed's fate, sacking of COIC entire board, and the landslide victory of Simon Leonga at Kamasesh elections are some of the major highlights of newspaper front page headlines this week. We begin with the Post newspaper. In its Monday's issue, it is reported that the chairman of the Social Democratic Front, John Frundi, and transporters have stopped the collection of toll gate fees at Matazem, the gateway to the Northwest Regional Chief Town, Bamenda. After portions of the Babaju-Bamenda highway collapsed, he stormed the Matazem toll gate with some transporters only to discover that toll gate collectors had deserted the place before his arrival. According to the Post-Weekender, Iya Mohamed, former general manager of the cotton-producing company Sodikotong, is likely to face a heavy jail term when the Special Criminal Court pronounces its verdict September 3, 2015. Also in this issue of the Post-Weekender, the mayor of Boya, Patrick Ekema, is accused of political victimization and administrative arrogance for that project. And in politics, the decree of the national chairman of the Cameroon People's Democratic Movement, CPDM, is reportedly haunting militants and journalists. Professor Asongani strikes back at the chairman of the Social Democratic Front, John Frundi, over facts on Cameroon's history published in the former's book, which the latter says are thwarted and misleading. Monday's issue of the Guardian Post newspaper reports that Professor Songani ignored what he calls Frundi's provocation to avoid confrontation and says Frundi's plans to disrupt his book launch failed. On John Frundi's decision to block the payment of tollgate fees at Matazem, the Guardian Post newspaper highlights the point that he says it is in protest to the bad state of the Babaju-Bamenda road. In an interview published on page 5, the Cameroonian musician Petit Pays criticizes the Biya regime, saying that there are problems in all sectors of public life. He will clash with President Biya always if he was a minister, and that Cameroon is the only country where people walk on their heads with their legs in the air. The Star newspaper reported Monday that the chairman of the Cameroon Opportunities Industrialization Center, COIC, Barrister Sam Ekontang Elad, and his entire board have been fired. During a general assembly of that institution, the former chairman, indicted for mismanagement, was thrown out and replaced by Major Ekeke Moses. Also in this issue of the Star, CRTV sportsman Simon Lyonga is elected president of the Cameroon English-speaking Journalists Association, Kamasej, while his challenger Sone Bayen suffers humiliating defeat. In what Eden newspaper qualifies as a landslide victory, Simon Lyonga grabbed 71 votes against 14 for his challenger. On the COIC sacked Elad-led board, Eden newspaper highlights the victory of Bakwarians over the Bayangis, adding that Honorable Milto Paul stays on as deputy chairman while Njie Mandenge replaces Honorable Eno Tanjong as advisor. And that is it for the press review in this second edition of The Inside. I'll be back next Sunday with more news from the papers.
Thank you very much, Babila Jonathan, with the press review on The Inside. Mr. Musoko Edward, Deputy Mayor from the Boya Council. We watched the press review there. The Mayor for the Boya Council accused of victimization, overuse of power.
Yeah, people have their individual opinion, but it's regrettable that most often some of this negative and derogatory information comes from, I should say, permit me, from a single news print newspaper, the Post. But I want to also allege here that if you don't inform people correctly, it means you are misinforming the people. The council, headed by Mayor Kema, has an open door policy. It's just that those who are not close, or if you come closer, that is when you discover the inside of that person whom his image is about to be tarnished. But we say that he cannot, because he is up to the task. He is very, very accessible. He is very, very tolerant. He is very, very submissive, not showering his praises. I think all is well.
All is well?
Yeah.
Even with the former mayor of the Boya Council?
I don't know.
Now Senator Mbela Moki Charles?
I don't know what's about the former mayor, Senator Mbela Moki Charles. He had his own managerial style, his own leadership style, which incidentally I too was a deputy mayor then, a third deputy mayor. I don't want to compare two things. It's like comparing day and night without sentiment attached. But then I'm saying that the municipality is faring well. Administration is continuous. You start or continue from where the other person left, and it's the people's property, it's the people's structure, and it's like performing your own duty, carrying out your own duty, taking the people into consideration, and all will be fine. It's not an issue that we have to compare two things. Everybody is doing all what is expected from him, so that you make the municipality to be very buoyant.
The mayor at times too has been accused of moving around with guns, frightening the entire population, threatening that.
Again, like I said, some of these newspapers, like the one I said in the post, those are slandering information which are not the best, if at all. You know, some of this information always come whenever there are, like you also heard in one newspaper, that whenever there is a kind of micro project which is on the air, that is when people will start making negative statements and all the rest. That is from the
But don't you think that there's no smoke without fire?
People can create all sort of negative kind of information to derail the attention of the population. But like I'm telling you, I want to say it emphatically without fear and favor again, that it has never happened, it has never occurred, and it's not a place like Boya where the awareness is very, very high.
You are almost 2 years as Deputy Mayor in the Boya Council. You've been part of the former mandate. Now, what have you done to the people of Boya defending their interests? Those people who voted you September 30 twin elections 2013.
Within this short space of time, there are many infrastructural projects that we've carried out. They are there, the stories are telling. If you go to the regional hospital, I want to start with the health. We have constructed, it's about completion, it's about 80% complete, 12-room VIP rooms. We have also the chapel for the hospital, which is operational. We have also the flower markets that people can even sell, carry out kind of provision stores. We have borehole. We have opened or rehabilitated farm to market roads in many of the areas. We cited the one of the Mbova to Wonjoku. We also did the road of the Wonyamukumba from that Wonyamavio down to Wonyamukumba. There are many other roads that we've carried on with the investment budget of the council, and we have also carried out a socio-economic tour. We earmarked projects which we are already on some of them, like the one of the community hall in the Buana village. It's ongoing. We just laid the foundation stone in the last 2 weeks. I think the work proper will start next week. We have a host of other projects, like the one that the people of the Bokova community requested for a kind of canteen beside their health center. It has already completed. There are a host of other projects which, if I want to continue to enumerate, we may have no end.
In spite of all this, there is still water crisis. There are still bad roads.
Yeah, water crisis, not to that extent that it used to be, because the water situation, if we want to like open the basket, you will be shocked. A colossal sum of money was given to Boya during or before the 50th anniversary, but this water situation is still very bad. That is why the council had to embark on enhancing the situation of water in Boya, and we had to enter into partnership with a Chinese company for 25 modern boreholes. And as of now, as we are talking, we have realized close to 8. That even aside, we are looking forward to see how to come up with an improved situation of potable water. The mayor, Ekoma Patrick, is a board member of Cam Water, and I think there is something that will come in no distant future, and the people of Boya and some municipality, neighboring municipality, will also benefit from this largesse from the government through Cam Water.
Now, Musoko Edward, Deputy Mayor Boya Council, you serve in the former, the former regime of the now Senator Mbela Mokichas as Deputy Mayor. Today you are Deputy Mayor, 2 years on. after the coming in place of the Patrick Ekema, the present mayor. What has changed, or how can you compare the two personalities and their government?
I don't think I should be placed in a situation to act like a judge, but you as a people of the Fourth Estate, you know, you can like tell the public what is going on. But then, like I said, we should not compare two things which are not equal. I think the present regime, like I earlier said in my introductory
one
statement,
is greater than the other.
I said the managerial style is very, very participatory, and the leadership skill that the present regime has exhibited is the one that is, I should say, it's bottom top, and it is participatory. And if you want us to if you want me to elaborate further, which I don't find it further. So
that Patrick Ekema is better than Bela Mokichas? You
judge it from yourself. I've told you, and without even fear again, I think the present managerial system is far better. It's far better, and I think everybody, each and everyone has its own way of doing things. The former regime, just like the present regime, they had their own vision, they had their mission. The present vision, the present mission, I want to say it here, since I still belong to the present mission and vision, is very, very appreciating and welcoming.
All right, permit me now to launch our regional network. I told you in the course of this program we're going to give you some of the reports that made news during the week in the respective regions. It is a contribution of the entire news desk, the English news desk on Equinox Television, the regional network, coming up next.
Roads in the Kupe Maningova division in general are in a very deplorable state, with the rainy season traveling within this part of the southwest region has become an endless nightmare.
Despite all the work that was done during the dry season, we thought we will not leave this deplorable situation again, but it's terrible.
The situation on this road linking Tombel, Nyasoso and Bangem has been aggravated by two landslides at Suki and Kembule. Inhabitants are now compelled to use crude tools to make a way for motorbikes.
If you in Tombel can help us, please, hear our prayers. Yeah.
In some cases, passengers are obliged to step down for the bike rider to break through the mud. The sick and even the dead are in trouble because of the extremely bad state of this road, thus increasing the burden on families.
Exchange between Bamenda and other regions of Cameroon is under serious threat, and the chairman of the SDF, who is preoccupied about the situation, could not be indifferent. That was the essence of his visit Saturday to Babajo, West Region, where circulation has remained practically impossible after the road collapsed.
Not only sit down to listen to them, I have to come to the field, see this myself. As a field politician, I don't want to criticize a thing that I'm hearing from people, and this is what I've done for 25 years.
Nijon Frunti expressed disappointment over the deplorable state of the road, which he described as a pivotal gateway to the Northwest region.
The town of Kongsamba in the Mongo division has not been spared from the effects of a torrential rainfall that have continued to batter many localities in the country for some time now. Many neighborhoods in that locality have suffered from floods, with houses inundated, forcing occupants to spend sleepless nights fighting with the rainwaters. Others have even lost their houses and equipment due to landslides caused by the heavy rains. Businesses have remained on a standstill. The floods have even left inhabitants of the town of Kongsamba divided on who is to be blamed for the situation.
Qui ont construit les maisons dans l'eau, qui ont donné l'inondation.
These inhabitants blame the floods on anarchical construction of houses, even on drainage patterns.
Water flowing out of the ground is the main source of potable water to residents of Nkong, an area near Hotel de Plateau in Yaoundé.
L'on me dit qu'ici là c'est très propre, tout le monde puise ici là. Non, on ne crête plus, on boit seulement, non, ça n'a jamais dérangé.
Residents say the water is safe for drinking, even though visitors fear the water is of doubtful quality because of its source. Many people rush to the spring as serious water shortage keeps manifesting in Yaoundé, with water curse which last for several months.
A warm reception for General Jacob Koji, commander of the 4th Military Region. Dozens of men in uniform, sons and daughters of Marwa, gathered at the airport to honor the man who will be charged with guaranteeing the security of the population in the wake of terror threat. As the son of the region, gifts symbolizing the battle ahead for the general were handed to him by the local inhabitants.
J'attends des hommes, des populations.
A collection of news from the regions in the regional network. That's a slot we propose to you on every edition of The Insight on Equinox Television. Welcome to join me on set. The Deputy Mayor for the Boya Council, Mosoko Edward, is still with me tonight. How has the Boya Council managed reunification projects? We hear some of them are in dilapidated state now.
Dilapidated state, it depends on the context that you qualify the dilapidation of some of these structures, you know. Some are still there, they have not been handed to us, like the reunification monument and a host of others. But then, it is our duty, just like the head of state instructed that we should make sure that we take care of some of these, or these reunification projects. That aside, you should also understand that it needs colossal sum of money. The council is not sparing any effort to make sure that we do what is expected from us, and I think it's one of our topmost priority to keep to the instructions handed to us by the highest authority of this country.
Now, tell us more how they may connive with a certain company to win contract of the Boya Central Market. It's making headline news in Boya.
Again, those are some of the slandering information which I want to say here emphatically that it is unfounded. It is unfounded, and I've never. It's not even something that is of knowledge to me. People may make all sort of a statement and all sort of come up with all sort of information, but like somebody who is an insider, I will tell you that there have never been a day that the mayor connive with somebody to come up with the construction of the central market. You know, it's a government project. It is a people's property, and why should somebody just go and connive with a contractor for such kind of activity?
It's a project that has a whooping sum of money. There are many eyebrows raised on it. The management, the award of contract on the Boya Central Market.
Yeah, people may make all sort of statements because they don't understand what is going on. The central market is in a scheme of build, operate, and transfer. And why should somebody connive with some other person, a contractor, to come out or to swindle money? Some of those informations are very, very appealing. It is like to stare or incite the population, which is not the best. When people want to make statement or information, give information to the public, they should give responsible information. It has never happened. So please, it's not something that we should continue to comment on it. I've never seen. I am very, very close to the administration, this present administration. I'm very, very close. all of us, just like the deputy mayors, the chiefs of services, right down to chiefs of bureau, they are very, very close. You are free. Go and interview any of them. They'll give you the inside information and they'll tell you whether something like that has ever happened. It is unfounded. It is baseless. Please.
Now, tell us more about back to school. There was a meeting that was recently held in the central region of the country. They were talking about security in the various schools. As a mayor of the Boya Council, the deputy mayor, has your team been working on that security back to school?
Yeah, we took it as one of our preoccupation as per the present state of the nation. We have not left any efforts not touched. I think we have carried out a lot of sensitization to the school authorities in collaboration with the regional authorities, just like divisional authority and the subdivisional authority, the governor, the senior divisional officer, the DO, the principals, headmasters, headmistresses, and all the rest, to put all in place to make sure, to ensure that the security of the people, the security of the municipality is assured. And we, on our own part, we are doing all what is expected from us to assure or to ensure that the security is well in place, well enhanced. We have all those metal detectors that we have put in place, like in markets, and we will not hesitate, especially to use them during a back-to-school period in boarding schools, and why not day schools. We have our municipal security officials who are being well sensitized on this issue, and we work in collaboration with the conventional security forces. I mean the police, the gendarmes, and all the other security operatives. I think all is in place. You should have no fear. We have put everything in place.
Now, we cannot talk about Boya without talking about the land problem. Boya, which is in Fako division, there has been much talk about land grabbing, indiscriminate in Fako division. You are a deputy mayor of the Boya Council. At times, the council or the mayor, let me put it that way, is already has been indicted on several occasions, has been part and parcel of the land grabbers. Is your mayor land grabber?
That question can be directed to you yourself. And who is grabbing who? Who is grabbing land from who? If I'm a Bakuri man, I have land in my own Bakuri area. Am I grabbing land? Am I grabbing land for myself? So the people who came up with all such stories, they know why they came up with it. But it's something that I would not even like to comment, because it's not an issue. It's not an issue. Why only Boya? Is it only Boya that is in Cameroon? That one should be an issue that should ring something in your mind, in your head. We have other places. We have places in this country that people will fight and kill themselves, stab themselves, inter-village, inter-communal. It has never happened in Boya. But people will come and stir up.
It is happening in Boya because villagers, some of the villagers came out to denounce this indiscriminate land grabbing. Now let me take us memory lane when the CDC ceded some of the lands back to the local population. The various chiefs were supposed to share these lands to the villagers. Now the villagers are crying foul play and saying that the mayor is also involved in this land grabbing.
If you are like insisting that the mayor, then cite the case in point. But I want to tell you that there is no aspect of land grabbing.
There are many cases like
I'm telling you that there is no aspect of land grabbing. The people have their ancestral land that the government, through still its largesse, has ceded it to the people. It's true we may have some 1 or 2 spotted excesses, but it is their land, it is their ancestral land that the government is giving it back to the people to manage. And how many have you heard that there have been kind of village squabble, village war, or inter-village kind of a situation? People should not incite the population. Cameroon is a peaceful country. We are informing the public, we are informing the country, we are informing the people, we are informing the population. this aspect of land grabbing, some people have their ulterior aim, ulterior motive of coming out with all this kind of statement.
Mr. Mosoko,
why is it that land grabbing is something that is making a lot of noise on news in Buea?
And why is it that some indigenes are, scared when we talk about land grabbing? Are you scared? Or?
If I was scared, I wouldn't have been going right deep inside to tell you some of these things. It's a normal thing. It's a God-given gift to the people, the Bakure people. Why not go and look for land, let's say Manu division? Manu, they have land. After this road that passed through Bamenda, with the Kume area to a Cock, go and see what is going on there. Go and find out what is going on there. You go to the other parts of Cameroon, even the north and other here in Littoral. There are a lot of cases of land misuse, land grabbing. There is no news. Buea, because of the present leadership, because of present municipality, people will not want us to have peace. The people of Buea are very, very peaceful and loving people, hospitable people. They should not derail them. The people are very focused.
So in the present future, you will not become tenant, you are landlords. Because the fear is that people buy land, people who are not from Buea, from Fako, they buy lands. And in the nearest future, inhabitants of Buea will become tenants and not landlords.
You have right to your opinion, but I want to tell you that if development has to come, you have to embrace people. In Douala here, who are the tenants? Is it the Douala people or the Bamleki people? And what do you mean by tenants? So who is not Cameroonian or who is more Cameroonian than another? So you want us to send all the non-indigenes to incite the people to start bringing the aspect of genocide that how people wanted to bring? And no, it cannot happen. We have to stand firm and protect the interests of the Buea people. We have to stand very firm to protect the interests of Cameroonian. Cameroon is a peaceful, loving people. Keep peaceful, loving nation. And Buea is a cosmopolitan area. We embrace, we welcome every other person to live very peacefully in Buea. Notwithstanding, the Bakure people have their rights to their own fair share. But then it should not be that somebody or a group of persons want to incite others for reasons which I don't know. I will not fear to say that the people of Buea are very calm, are very focused, peace-loving, hospitable.
All right. It is always a tradition on the Insight on Equinox Television. We meet our guests, and after that, we give you our special report, and the guest discusses on that before we wrap up this edition of the program. Let's meet the guest. Our guest tonight, Mr. Mosoko Edward, Deputy Mayor from the Buea Council. Now we are now talking our special story tonight. First of all, before we launch our special report, what is the state of affairs as far as bike circulation in Buea subdivision is concerned?
Yeah, the bike situation of Buea is very, very, very stable, although sometime in June, still again, we don't know why all these things are happening. They were kind of incited, and they had to carry out some of these derogatory or appealing actions, burning tires and all the rest. But then we have taken our responsibility to inform them, to caution them, and to assign them where they are supposed to carry out the activity. We respect the prime ministerial decree authorizing the bike riders to circulate on specific areas. And in Buea, we said that the urban periphery is prohibited. And we have gone further to define limits on where this bike have to carry out their operation. But most of the times, they defy it. Some of them are very, very stubborn.
Okay.
Some of them are very, very stubborn.
All right, let's see what happened on that fateful day, June 2015. Ladies and gentlemen, our special story tonight is signed by our Southwest Regional Reporter, Derek Jato. The special report.
Wednesday, June 24th, 2015, mile 17 motor park in Buea, bikers mount barricade, demanding the Buea Council to release their bikes. Commercial motorbikes that were caught in the city center, forbidding circulation zones by the law. The stand-up was too strong for what to handle. The lone alternative was tear gas to bring back circulation. The commercial motorbikes were later handed to the bikers. Monday, July 6, 2015, Buea Council Chamber, and at the conference hall of this building sit the senior divisional officer for Fako Division, the mayor of Buea, his deputies, and security forces. They are one-on-one with the transporter syndicate. Dialogue is the watchword. In his opening speech, Mr. Zhang III condemned in strong terms and told the bikers that the 24 June scenario must not repeat itself. And then Mr. Musi, the divisional delegate of transport for Fako Division, in line with the text, spelled out the conditions for commercial motorbikes to operate.
The motorcycle must be registered and have a systematic number plate. Your driving license and insurance. You must pay the windscreen license, and you're supposed to have a transporter's license.
He is the Assistant State Counsel for Fako Division.
We acknowledge the fact that those guys are assistants. But then, the rules put in place by the council is too harsh. It's too harsh.
If you respect the law, finish. And you are the state council, you are the man of law. Excuse me, the shame. Let me tell you, it's a shame for you to talk at this, in that meeting.
We understand, like I said earlier, that you have senior civil servants who are bike owners. He has revealed himself. Thank you.
Mile 17 motor park clandestine transportation is still present. To best redress the situation, Mr. Zhang III descended on the ground and gave what he called fresh instructions. It is not only transportation, but no unlicensed business should operate in his division.
The bike has been released, and what we are trying to plead is for him now to facilitate the installation. The thing has been, at first we programmed it for I think on the 6th, but now because of one reason or the other, maybe he was busy as he said, he have postponed it to further notice. So we are pleading that he should facilitate the issue so that we will be on the field to work and to see how to help the council to better manage the bike sector in Buea. So we are thanking the mayor for that gesture, and we are waiting for the day to see that when the installation, because he said that he's going to hand it over at that installation day. So we are waiting to see that day and to see how the thing is going to move forward.
Special story there as captured by Derek Jato on that fateful 23rd of June 2015. Welcome back to join us. I am still with Mr. Mosoko Edward. He's a deputy mayor of the Buea Council. Now, what is the situation? Those arrested, are they still in prison?
I don't know. Everybody is acting on his or own sphere of competence. Nobody is above the law, and we have our own function that we carry out as municipal authority. Just like the administrative authority, you have the judicial authority and the security. Each and everyone is carrying out with his or own sphere of competence. If they found them guilty, I think they will be charged according to what the law stipulates. So I may not be in a better position to tell you whether they are still there or they are not there.
The council asked them to pay 25,000 francs for each impounded bike. Is that not too much for a bike rider?
It's not too much. It's a law. It is a law, and we are following the law in total. And according to the law, if a bike is impounded, just like we had a municipal deliberation from a council session, if a bike is impounded, you pay 25,000 francs, and each day you pay an impoundment fee of 3,000 francs. But the 3,000 francs was waived because of kind of understanding. We had to put in some kind of human face. So our interest there is that they should respect the law. urban disorder, we will not tolerate it in Boya. And those people who don't want to respect the law, they should not disturb the other lawful citizens in Boya who are carrying out their duties in order to continue with their livelihood. We have responsible people who are bike riders, graduates, family heads, and all the rest. So we will not tolerate any aspect of disorderliness in that sector of bike. They should respect the limits that the council has put there. And council is looking forward. Council even went further that they should bring a comprehensive list of all their various bike riders. Council went further again to say council to buy the identification jackets and all the rest.
The president was talking about that a while ago. Yeah. Maybe there will be some sort of installation ceremony.
Yeah, we'll have to install them, but we are waiting for them to come up with their comprehensive list so that we install them and we give all what is needed for them to operate and function. They have badges so that they should be identified. So that those people, those men of the underworld, they should not just come and mingle themselves as if they are bike riders and they carry out with some of these evil acts. We respect them, we respect their activities. They too should respect the law. I am not the law. The law has been put there by the people of Cameroon, so all of us have to respect it because nobody is above the law.
Ezekiel Awa, the president of Bike Riders Association in Boya, showed a lot of praises on the mayor for the Boya Council, your team. Does it mean that you've been working in close collaboration, or he's on your side?
Being on our side, I don't understand. The thing is that we work in close collaboration with all of them, and we'll be having series of meetings with them. And I want to believe that they have understood. But this sector is that some people think that it's just a kind of free-for-all sector that they will go and like do or any other thing that they think they can do. But then if they are doing their bike activity, they should understand that it's a kind of a sector that deals with human life. And there should be control. There should be sanity, like I said, and I will continue to insist. Cameroon is a state of law. All of us should respect the law. We respect the bike riders, and they too should know that they have an obligation to work according to the tenets of the law.
Now, before I take leave of you, there is this situation in Boya subdivision since the median was removed. I'm talking about the dual carriage from my 17 right up to Boya town. There have been a lot of accidents on that road. What is the council doing?
Formally, you could have said so, but the rate of accidents since the median was removed has greatly reduced. We have just few spots that we record incidents of accident. That is from the Bondomahihe right down to the Balingua Grammar School, Moliko, and we have taken necessary measures to make sure that the accident rate is checked. And we are looking forward to come up with the traffic lights and the signals, road signs. Road signs will be put, and we will work in collaboration with the security operatives, the urban development, public works and transport officials to make sure that we address this situation accordingly from instructions that we had from the highest authority in the region, that is the governor. I think it's a kind of concerted effort, and all we put in place, even that particular spot that the accident occurs regularly, we'll make sure that we put it into check.
There are some speed breaks that the population as well as drivers have not welcomed that construction of the speed breaks. Some of them come and they dodge that speed breaks. It causes another problem, Mr. Mayor.
Normally, if we are to put speed brake, it's ongoing. That project is ongoing, and it has to be on both sides. But the speed brake we'll put it according to norms, and it's not as if the speed brakes were put there for punitive measures. No, it's to check the overspeed that drivers always engage whenever they are coming down towards, from that hill of Bondoma towards Lycée. Go and find out the records. It will tell for itself that the rate of accident in that particular spot is very, very, very high. And like I said earlier, we work according to specification to make sure that we redress the situation. Traffic lights will be in place, not sooner than later, not long from now. Traffic lights will be in place. We'll increase road signs, and we'll improve on the nature of the speed brakes to meet according to the norms.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Mosoko Edward, Deputy Mayor, Boya Council. It is one of the very rare moments which we are receiving somebody live on our set from the Boya municipality. It was a pleasure having you here in Douala.
Yeah, I want to say that Equinox, the kudos goes to you people to give us the opportunity to inform Cameroonians what is going on in our own beloved and most cherished municipality, despite whatsoever negative information that is like looming on the leadership of the municipality. We'll say, come and discover the person, and you know that you are dealing with a saint. There's no problem with him. All is fine. Boya is fine. We thank the population of Boya, thank the people of Cameroon, being a peaceful, loving nation, just like Boya, peaceful, loving, and hospitable.
All right, have a safe trip to Boya Southwest region. It was a pleasure being with you tonight on this edition of The Insight on Equinox Television. It will equally be a great pleasure welcoming you next Sunday in yet another edition. Good night.